Welcome back to Fashion with Sort Out YouTube channel. How we all doing? So in today's tutorial, we are learning how to make this beautiful flare shirt gown. You can see how beautiful it came out. And if you're interested with something you're interested in learning, please let's get going. So for this gown, these are the fabrics needed. I have this beautiful sample lace material, and here is my satin also, which will serve as a lining. And also I'm making use of paper stay, which is not seen here, and then buttons, matching thread and all. But before we go forward, I want us to do some basic calculation that will be needed for this, for the down part of the dress. Okay, so the waist we are working with is 32 inches. I added 2 inches to it as the button allowance. Okay, so now after adding it, I got 34. What I'm going to do now is divide the 34 by 3.16 because I'm using half flare cut for it. Afterwards, it gave me 10.85. The whole length of the, that is the waist that we just calculated, the whole length, the radius rather, that is the radius we just calculated, the whole length of the gown, okay, is 43 inches. What I'm going to do is remove the half length of 15 inches from it, and it gave me 28. So the next thing I'm going to do is add this 28 to the 10.8 radius that we have just calculated. The whole thing will give me 38.8. So this is the length of the fabric we'll be cutting out, and I'm going to cut it on fold because we are cutting it in a triangular. We are cutting the down part in a triangular way. Okay, so now I just want to confirm if what we have there is accurate. I'm going to place my tape rule right there and then check it out. So for that part, for that side, I have the 38 points. I approximated it to 39 inches, so I have the 39 inches there, and the other side too is being checked, and the same thing I have there. I'm just trying to arrange it and make it equal. Okay, so I guess we are done with the checking. So now I'm just going to fold it like we do fold our triangular cut. Okay, so I have folded it. I'm just ensuring that everywhere aligns well before we start our choking. Okay, so it is well folded now. The next thing I'm going to do now is pick my tape rule rather. Sorry guys, I'll pick my tape rule and then measure out all that is needed. Okay, the first thing I'm going to measure out is the length, and remember that the length we needed for the whole distance is the radius plus the length of the skirt, which later gave us 38.8. So I'm just going to mark out, and remember I said I approximated it to 39 inches, so I'm just going to mark the 39 inches all the way. Guys, after that I'll pick my scissors and then cut out that part. Okay, we could as well leave it to mark the radius part, but so that we can have the clearer picture of what we are doing. That is why I cut that out first. Okay, after cutting it out, guys, we are going to proceed to the waist area, and also I'll pick my tape rule and then mark out the 10.8 inches all the way around there. Okay, right now I want to confirm if what I have there is accurate. I've checked it and it's accurate. What I'm going to do next now is cut it out, and after cutting it out, we are going to set it aside, the down part aside, and then proceed to the upper part of the dress. So guys, I have the upper part cut out. As you can see, the one below is the front fold, while the upper one is the back. Okay, so the extra 2 inches you are seeing at the down fold will serve as the button blanket. So first thing I'm going to mark out is our back which is 14 inches. I added half inch, divided by to 7. I added half inch to it, and that gave me 7.5. That was what I marked out. And then I'm marking out my chest line. Now I connect the line to my chest line, and the chest line I'm making use of is 8 inches. The next line I'm going to mark out is the bust point. Okay, so after the bust point, the next one is our under bust length. I'm going to mark that out also. That is 13 inches. Then the half length is 15.5. So what we have left there is, the half length is 15. So what we are left with there is 1.5 inch, which will serve as our joining allowance. Okay, so I'm just going to connect the line to the other part of the fold. Afterwards, we'll proceed to our armhole area. I'm just going to use my hand to just make the curve, as you can see. Okay, so next thing, I'm going to pick my ruler, and then we'll make the shoulder slant. So on the shoulder line, I'm going to mark half inch, as you can see, and then on the neck itself, I will mark, on the fold of the neck, I'm going to mark 3 inches. So the neck width will be 3 inches. So all I'm going to do is slant it to the shoulder area, as you can see. Now we'll proceed to imputing our body circumference. Okay, so the bust we are working with is 38 inches divided by 4. That gives me 9.5. I will then add 2.5 extra allowance, which will serve as our sewing and ease allowance. Okay, so the 38 divided by 4 gave me 9.5, right? And like I said, I added 2.5 extra allowance to it, which gave me 12 inches. So what I have on the bust point is what will be extended to the chest line, as you can see. So the next thing is our under bust circumference. The under bust we are working with is 32, and 32 divided by 4 gives me 8. I'm going to mark out that 8, and then like I did to the bust point, I'm going to add extra 2.5 sewing and ease allowance. I'm going to mark that. Okay, so we'll proceed to the waist area. What we have as our under bust round circumference is also what we have as our waist. The waist is 32 inches, so that was why I extended that line downward, as you can see. Okay, so I'm going to just connect it down to the allowance area and then cut out. Okay guys, we'll proceed to the neck area. Like I said, that the neck width will be 3 inches. Okay, we are still maintaining that. So for our back depth, I'm going to make use of 1 inch because it will still have a collar. Okay, so I'm going to make it 1 inch, and then for the front I'll make it 3 inches. Okay, so I'm just going to mark it out as you see me do, and then make a connect to the neck, and then cut it out as you see me do. So guys, our front and back upper part is ready also, as you can see. I've gone ahead to divide the front parts into 2. Okay, so this is what we have. I'll just go ahead now and use the cutout to cut our lace. Now the amount of lace we are working with for this dress is 3.5 yards. Okay, so we are cutting the down parts first. So I folded the whole 3.5 yards, and then remember that the length we are working with for our down part is 28 inches. So but for this, I'm going to add 2 extra inches, which will serve as our joining allowance and the hemming allowance. So I'm going to mark out the 30 inches and then cut it out. Now guys, we have the lace cut out for the down part of the dress. As you can see, what we are going to do is pleat it around on the flare cut we made initially. So this is our flare cut, remember. I'm just going to fold it right now, and then we'll set it aside and cut every other part of the dress before we proceed to joining. Okay, so right away I'm making use of the remaining material for what we are left with, right? So I'm just going to make a fold of everything and then use all the piece to cut out everything needed. Okay guys, right away we'll proceed to our sleeve. I folded what I have left, and I'm pretty sure it will be enough for the sleeve. So all I'm going to do now is cut the sleeve out. After which I'll go to the sewing machine and start joining the dress. Okay, so guys, I've gone ahead to join the lace to the down parts, to the flare cut of the down parts. As you can see, do you see how wavy the lace is on our flare cutout? So all I did was to gather it and then sew to the flare. Okay, so now we'll proceed to the other parts, the upper parts of the dress. So now to fix our satin on the lace, what I did was to open it. Okay, like let me just show you what I did. I opened the lace and then placed my satin on it, and if you notice that the right part of the satin is the one facing up, so by the time we turn it, we'll have that part showing. Okay, so all I will do is just join the side. I'm not going to sew the neck now because it will have a collar. The same thing I'm going to do to the front area, right? I'm just going to join the side only and then turn it and then top stitch on it. So now I've gone ahead to do that. That's our back, and then after joining it, I turned it and then top stitch the neck. The same thing I did to the front also. I sew the side and then turn it and then top stitch the side. So for the front part, I shouldn't forget to tell you that I only sew the side, the armhole side, the armhole area, the buttonhole area. I turn it before stop stitching it because it will still have a placket. That was why I did it that way. Right now I'm going to just mark out my dart area. It will have a dart, right? So I'm just going to mark out for the gap of the dress is 8 inches. I divided by 2, that gave me 4, and then I marked out 4 inches on that area, and then I'm going to make a notch so that everything will be accurate with both the front and the back. So right away I'm going to go to my sewing machine and then fix it and come back to show you what next to do. So now I've gone ahead to sew the dart area, and this is how it came out. So what I'm going to do next is place my front on it this way and then make a choking, and then I'll go to my sewing machine and sew. Now guys, after joining it, this is what we have. Okay, so this is the upper part. So what I'm going to do now is pick the down part, which is the skirt part of the dress, and then I'm going to join the upper part to it in this manner. I just want to place it on it first and show you how it is before going to my sewing machine to join it. Okay guys, after joining it, this is how it came out. I've also gone ahead to cut my the placket. I cut it in 2.5 inch, and then I placed my my paper stay, as you can see, and then ironed it in a bias form. Now what I'm going to do next is place it right to the back of the dress. Do you see what I'm doing? I place it and sew it, and afterward I will flip it to the front, okay, like this, and then make a top sewing on it. After sewing it, this is how it came out. I'm going to show you the other parts, the other side, so that you can know what I'm saying. I have joined it. You see the way I joined it to the back, and then I'm going to turn it to the front like you see it, and then sew it like this. Do you understand? I'm just going to sew it on the top. Okay, so I've gone ahead also to cut the pocket like this thing on the dress. How do I even call it? It looks like the pockets on the chest. I've gone ahead to cut it, and then I cut it in 6 inches, fold it, place my paper stay to a side, and then I'll go and sew it. After sewing it, I want to show you how it will be placed on the dress. Okay, so I'm going to measure what I have there. I'm going to measure like 9 inches from the shoulder point and then sew it like this. Okay, so what I have on the other side is what I measured here also. So after sewing it, I'm going to turn it down and then top stitch on it for it to stay. I hope you understand what I want, what I just explained. Okay, sorry guys, I didn't show where I measured it. What I have there is 9.5 inches. So from 9.5 inches is where I made the placement. After all this, I'm going to come back to show you how it is. Guys, I've gone ahead to fix it, and this is how we have it. Okay, do you see? It's not a pocket, it's a pocket like something, I don't know what to call it. Okay, so what I'm going to do next now is measure my neck. I want to cut the collar. I'm just going to make a measure, and after I measured it, I have like 18 inches. So now I'm going to fold my satin. I'm using my satin also as the collar. So this kind of collar, I'm going to fold it into 4. As you can see, we are cutting it in the fold is like peplum fold. I'm saying this so that you will not forget and you know what I just did. So I'm cutting 2 together, and that is why I had 2 fold. So now I'm going to measure round 4 inches, as you can see. Okay, so I'll measure out the 4 inches, and after that I'll go to the radius area, like the upper part, which will serve as the upper neck. So this down part that I just measured out, that I just marked out, will serve as the joining to the neck of the dress, while the upper part will be the neck area, right? So for it not to be choky too, you must make sure that what you are marking out is accurate, is will be enough. Okay, so what you have to do is maybe measure your neck round so that you will know what you need there. That is what I just did, and then I confirmed if it will accommodate the neck. After confirming that, I see that my initial markouts will not accommodate the neck, so that was why I had to increase what I have there. Okay, so after marking it out right now, I'm going to pick my scissors and then cut it out. So guys, after cutting it out, this is how we have it. Remember, we cut 2 together. So what I'm going to do next is pick my scissors and then find the center point, like you can see me do. So afterward, I'm going to go to my sewing machine and then sew the neck area and then press iron it for you to see the way I will join it to the dress. I've gone ahead to join it, and this is how it came out. Do you see the way it is? So I also top stitch that side, that down part, and so that is the area that will be joined to the dress. All I'm going to do is top stitch, make a notch at the center and also at the center of the dress, so that the collar will be well distributed. The excesses will fall to the edge of each side. So what I'm going to do now is pin it down and then sew it around and come back to show you how it is. So guys, I've gone ahead to fix the collar to it, and this is how it came out. All I have to do is just to knitting the inner part, as you can see, and then everything is looking prime. Guys, if you have stayed this time watching this video, is an evidence that you got value watching it. Like this video, share it with your friend. You are also free to ask questions if you have any. And if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, do well to subscribe. Okay, so I've gone ahead to fix my sleeve to the dress, and this is what the inner part is looking like. As you can see, everything is rightly fixed. All that I'm left with now is to make a buttonhole on the dress. Okay, the upper one will serve as, on the lower part is where I will fix my button, while the upper one, like you can see, is where the buttonhole will be made. And this is all to the dress, right? I'm just going to go ahead and fix the button and everything needed, and then come back to show you the final look of our beautiful flare shirt. Okay, but before you fix your button, you must make sure that you measure the distance you want between the two so that it will come out well. I have gone ahead to do everything needed to the dress, and this is our final look. Guys, this is so beautiful. I love the color combination. You can go ahead also and try this out, and I'm very sure you will have it beautifully sewn like this particular one. So guys, see you in my next tutorial. Bye bye.